This is Dabu7. We're dealing with a massive cyber attack that has now forced the shutdown of the largest gasoline pipeline in the United States. This is critical. We put out a lot of information, a lot of videos, but we are now under direct attack by someone that is hitting our country and now crippling not only the hospitals, but now the biggest gasoline pipeline that we have. This 5,500-mile Colonial Pipeline, the single largest refined products pipeline in the U.S., halting transit. And as far as we could see, it was still offline. This began Friday. And they're saying if this continues into this week, it could send prices soaring. This is where most of the East Coast gets its gasoline. And you can see right here the route in all the states connected into this. This pushes 2.5 million barrels per day. It makes up 45% of all of the East Coast fuel supply. It is absolutely massive. None of the mainstream or no one else is really talking about this big time, yet this is major. Just like they weren't really talking about all the institutions and the banks and the hospitals and these other places that were getting hit. They'd make a little mention and then push on. But this is critical. This is big time. Their silence on this is setting off alarms. And let me remind you that in this ransomware environment, what they're doing is they're asking these places to pay them in Bitcoin. Now, this is where it all falls apart if you have half a brain. Bitcoin was built on an SHA-256 algorithm that was created by the NSA. Whine and cry, pitch, moan, whine, and scream all you want. You can't erase the facts of who created it. And they're watching everything. This is why they allowed it into their financial institution. You know, the country that went around killing world leaders in the name of the almighty dollar for decades. You think that they would let a mystery man just slide up into their financial institution? Use your brain. This is a trap. It is the trap of traps. I warned you, they're walking you toward the CBDC, and along the way, anyone that's using ransomware with Bitcoin that they can track and trace every nook and cranny of, and they have you thinking that it's some mystery man that's doing the ransom attacks, it only works because you're still buying that the person that created Bitcoin is a mystery man. When you figure out who did this, the whole thing falls apart. Then you can see who's responsible for all of these ransomware attacks. Yep. You guessed it. That's right. The same culprits. Yeah. You see how that works? So put on your thinking caps. Join me over on D Live where we break this down further on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Bahawashah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his words in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Hashem Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners that have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Hashem Shai. I just want to address, this video, just that recently came out by Dabu7. All right, and it's going into a massive, cyber attack, forces shut down the largest gas pipeline, in America, man. And it just made me think of, it's not going to take a long time, for this thing to just spiral out of control. When Esau Edom, has a lot of people, in the deep delusion, with this normalcy, it's springtime going into summer, traveling, vacations and summer camps, and people are happy to be back out, and the mask mandates are being lifted, and things, all right, are going. You can see that everyone is going back into really this 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 state of being in a coma, man. You know, not aware of anything, oblivious, man. All right. But these gas prices affect everything, man, because if gas prices shoot up, that means food shoots up. All right. Because food has to be transported. You know, that means what you make an hour, all right, really ain't what you make an hour. You know, because now it takes more of what you make to buy the same product. You know, so it'll be a ripple effect. Now, we'll keep up with to see how it play out. They like to throw, little glitches out there to see how people react. Little test runs, and then they get it back up and going. Or whether they let this thing linger, you know, and we start seeing, a ripple effect from it. Now, when you go Luke 21:34, it says, "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with fighting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unawares." You see, so we, can't get back in into this mindset, of being unaware of all the things that this man has going on. Now it's a balance to everything. There's nothing wrong with you, going, stepping out. You might take your woman out. You might go, hang out with the brothers, or the spot or something. But at the same time, all right, we have to always remember, that this thing can go down any day. It can get real bad any day. Any month, it can just get, extremely bad because everything is already set up. All the circumstances are already set up. All right. It says, "For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the earth." Yeah, because it's a trap. Esau Edom has traps all over the earth. Because even with the Bitcoin, as he was mentioning, they make it seem as Bitcoin, is going to be, the the gateway, all right, or the way, to avoid, suffering loss, during the collapse of a dollar, But who set that up? The same people who collapsed on the dollar, all right, set up the Bitcoin. Now, if you can make moves and you can make money on Bitcoin, there's nothing wrong with that. Make moves, be wise, be circumspect, and like I would always say, you know, it's just a tool, you know, to get things, that you need, So if you, make a opportunity, out of disaster, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, don't get caught up in it or your mind gets to leaning on that like that's gonna be some type of hedge, in these times that we coming into. No, all right. Cryptocurrency is just leading you, all right, into the way Dabu says the CBDC, all right, which is the central bank digital currency, man. You know, that's all that is because in order to have access, to that crypto, what you're gonna have to take eventually, man. The MOB. So we know that it's nothing but a snare and it's gonna catch a lot of people up. All right. It says, "Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man." And how we're going to escape, all right, through faith, through being disciplined, separating from this place, man, being detached. All right. This life shouldn't have no leverage on us, where we will have to, where we be hesitant to let something go, man, to let these things go. You see, those are the ones that will escape, the elect of our people, man. Now, I just want to get this and we can end it here. We'll make it long. Now, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. All right, verse 3. It says, "For the vision, all right, these prophecies is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie." And these things are speaking louder and louder and more clear. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So even though it's tarrying, man, when this thing hits, it's gonna hit, man, and the ripple effect gonna be swift. Of the things, all right, that that's going to affect the collapse of this society, you know. So I just wanted to bring that out. Lord wills edifying. Till next time, I say shalom.